What's the Chow Chinchows JoesphGames here. Welcome back to another week of the IBL, the Indigo Battle League. It is week 4 and I am your coach of the Chester Chinchows. Today we faced, well this week actually, we faced the Nijmegen Nuzleafs and their coach Automatic. And it was a very interesting match. I thoroughly enjoyed it. We are going to get onto the battle replay now. Before we do that though, the team that we used was this. We started off with Sophie, level 50, with the moves Potting Shot, Torrance, Foul Play, and Toxic. Then we had CM Punk at the Machamp with Close Combat, Poison Jab, Stone Edge, and Knockoff, holding the Assault Vest with Guts. I really want to run No Guard one time with Hitmonchan. Not Hitmonchan, Machamp. Yeah. Then we had Robin holding the Charcoal to boost Flare Blitz, also knowing Brave Bird, Roost, and Swords Dance. Then we had Nightmare, who was meant to be holding the Electrium Z, but as you'll see in the battle, I kind of forgot to give it the Mega Stone again. No, the Z Stone again. I keep on doing this. I will get it eventually. But it was supposed to have the Electrium Z and as Ice Beam, Fusion Bolt, Earth Power, and Roost. When I fused this Kieran Black, by the way, Fusion Bolt didn't carry over, so I had to reteach Fusion Bolt at the Move Tutor, and I had to find a PP Max that I had on my own in order to allow me to have battles. So that's why I forgot the Mega Stone, because I had to go through that whole ordeal of reteaching Fusion Bolt, getting myself to have 8 PP in Fusion Bolt, and then adding a Mega Stone. It's a lot to ask for me to remember all that. Hopefully that doesn't, become a trend. Anyway, then we had Maui, our Tapu Bulu with Leech Seed, Horn Leech, Substitute, and Nature's Madness with the leftovers. And then we had Little Bro with the Eevee Light, Toxic, Earthquake, Roost, and the Fog on its moveset. That was the team. So, let's boot up the battle replay and show you what happened. Okay, so we start off with Otto challenging us to a battle. And he starts off with his Arcanine. And I started off with Little Bro, the Gliga. So here I don't get my stats catched by Intimidate, which is great. He decides to switch out. I was going to go for the Toxic here, but Tapu Fini has this ability which stops all that stops moves like that. So yeah, I can't do that. I can't put Toxic on it. I think that's Misty Terrain that does that. Anyway, so I switch into Tapu Bulu here because Tapu Bulu can take any kind of water attack that Tapu Fini wants to do to me, and he wanted to do a Scald. And Scald does nothing to Tapu Bulu, and also could have got the burn, but I'm glad it didn't in the end. Really, Bulu was really useful for that, not getting burnt by Scalds. So Otto switches out this time into Arcanine again, and I set up the Substitute. So I'm sitting behind a sub, and I'm thinking to myself, can I take a hit? Is it worth me trying something? And I ended up thinking no. Afterwards, now watching the battle back, I'm thinking I could have done Nature's Madness. I could have set up the Leech Seed. I probably should have set up the Leech Seed. Yeah, I probably should have set up the Leech Seed, then gone into Little Bro. That would have been the better plan. That would have been the better plan. Because I take that Flamethrower rather nicely with the Eevee Light. And now he switches back into Narwhal. As I go for the Earthquake this turn, because I'm realizing I can't Toxic it. I'd love to have Toxic it, but I decided against it because, you know, it didn't work the first time, so why would it work this time? So, Toxic wouldn't work, so I go for the Earthquake instead. And then I switch out, back into Tapu Bulu. To take another Scald. And every time Tapu Fini came out, I bring in Tapu Bulu. That was the plan, every time. Because I take Scalds, and I also have Grassy Terrain to get all my HP back. Sadly, Grassy Terrain gives him HP back too, but you know, you live with it. And lefties is a thing too. So, you know, I take all these hits. This time he switches into Arcanine again, but this time instead of substituting, I decide to go for the Nature's Madness. I could have substituted there, actually. I do go for the Nature's Madness here, which does cut Arcanine's HP in half, which is really good. But the fact is, he can just Morning Sun and get rid of that. And the fact is, he's also got, you know, he's very physically defensive, this Arcanine, and has a Rocky Helmet, as you'll see later on in the battle, so it's not always the best idea. So here I switch back into Little Bro to take another Flamethrower, but this time he doesn't use Flamethrower, he uses Toxic instead. I'm glad I avoided the attack there, because I did not want to get Toxiced. This time he switches out into Spaghetti, which I find weird that he switched out into Spaghetti. I hit the Earthquake on the Spaghetti, does barely anything here. I guess I could have, maybe HP Ice would have been a thing I could have carried here. Because Earthquake did nothing. And then I decide to Toxic. I decide to take a turn and Toxic the Tangrowth, which was a really good idea on my behalf, actually. But it does sacrifice my Eevee Light in order to pull it off, which is kind of annoying. I really should have switched out there. I could have gone hard. I guess maybe I could have gone hard into Persian. Persian would have been the right play. Because I got to go Toxic with Persian. Because now I'm just getting destroyed by this Giga Draining Spaghetti. And after this, maybe like, yeah, I'm not sure I can take the hits anymore. That's the annoying thing out here. So I switch out into Nightmare. Nightmare can take the hit of a Giga Drain. Does nothing to Nightmare. And of course, maybe if I was able to outspeed and maybe if I was able to get that Ice Beam off, it would have been really cool. But like, he does switch here, if I remember correctly. Yeah, he does switch. He switches into Narwhal, which is the top of Finny. I did go for the Ice Beam, but it does do nothing. So this probably would have been the time to oh wait, I went for the Earth Power, because I thought he was going to go into Arcanine, that's it. This would have been the time to go into Fusion Bolt, really, because it would have one-shot at this point. Tapu Bulu comes back in, gets the Grassy Surge back up. Because every time, I'm going to take a Moonblast. Does do quite a bit of damage to me, but I can recover really nicely and I can take that really well. So I'm okay with the Moonblast. This is actually a really long battle, so I'm sorry about this being a really long battle. But it was a really good battle too. Here he switches into Here he switches back into Spaghetti. I was going to Horn Leech because I thought he might stay in here, and because he was realizing he's getting nowhere. But you know, he does switch out. He does keep this Tapu Fini around for another couple of turns. And he gets poison. And the poison does a lot of damage. Does a little bit actually, but not too much. Here I decide to switch back out of Maui into Robin, because I'm guessing he has Sludge Bomb. He does have Sludge Bomb. I could have switched into Machamp here. That might have been the better play. Because I wanted to do the charcoal boosted Flare Blitz. I could have gone for the Brave Bird. That would have been the better idea. Because he switches out here into the Arcanine. So the Brave Bird probably would have been the better idea. I get intimidated, which is kind of annoying. And I do go for the charcoal boosted Flare Blitz, thinking he might have stayed in, but nope. Does nothing. Could have gone for the Brave Bird and that would have done a lot. So here I decide to switch out. Back into Little Bro. To allow Little Bro to die, but Little Bro is got one last surprise in him yet. Because he gets the Morning Sun off. The Grassy Surge goes away. And Little Bro lives this Flamethrower. And Earthquakes. So all that HP just got back from the Morning Sun has been taken away again, which is really cool. And then just let Little Bro die at this point, because really, once Little Bro lost its Eviolite, Little Bro was probably going to die eventually. It's just a matter of time, really. At this point, I switch into CM Punk, for trying to go for the Stone Edge. That was the plan, go for the Stone Edge. Removes the Narwhal. Removes into the Tapu Fini. I decided to actually go for the Poison Jab here because the fact is I thought he was going to switch into this. So I predicted him really well. He lives, annoyingly, and I didn't get the poison. So here I do have to switch into Maui again because I don't want to risk a Moonblast and lose Machamp, because Machamp was a key part of this battle. So here I switch into Maui, and Maui takes the Moonblast really nicely. Does he give me... Yeah, I think he gives me Tapu Fini at this point because he realizes it's just it's futile trying to keep this thing around. So yeah, he gives me it by doing another Moonblast. The Moonblast does do quite some damage to me and does reduce my special attack, but I get off the Horn Leech. And there goes Tapu Fini. And then he goes back into Spaghetti. I know Spaghetti has Sludge Bomb, so I'm not taking that. So I switch out here into CM Punk. CM Punk can take that and does really nicely. And I go for the I think I go for the Poison Jab here. Oh no, I go for the Stone Edge because I'm thinking he's going to switch into top Arcanine. And he decides to go for the knockoff, which gets rid of my Assault Vest. I guess I could have gone for the Poison Jab. Looking back at it now, I think the Poison Jab would have killed at this point. And I should have done it. I would have saved my Assault Vest, which probably would have been the better option. Because I do go for the Poison Jab here. And it doesn't do a lot of damage. But without my Assault Vest, I do barely end it. I get poisoned. Without my Assault Vest, I get poisoned and I got Sludge Bombed. So literally, there's no save. You know, I've just literally lost Machamp at this point. And with Machamp, I also lose the... With losing Machamp here, I also lose the battle. But I don't go down without a fight. Yeah, I did lose here. I did lose this week, spoilers. But I don't go down without a fight. You know that about me, guys. So I use Poison Jab and I take down Spaghetti. And this time he sends in Bruce. Bruce is his Hitmonlee. I switch out into Maui on the Hitmonlee because I do not want to get hit by a move. And Maui can take moves that, you know, that Machamp couldn't take. So I take the Earthquake here because that doesn't do anything to me. And I get the healing back from Grassy Terrain and Leftovers. And he decides to switch out into Arcanine again. I go for the Horn Leech because I want to get some HP back. I get some, not a lot, and what I got back sadly was taken away from me by the Rocky Helmet, so wasn't great. But I do get some health back from the Grassy Terrain and of course the Leftovers as well. So it wasn't that bad in the end. It's just ways to test to see how defensive this Arcanine is, and it's very defensive. It is very defensive. This Arcanine is very defensive. So here I switch into Sophie. And here he goes for the Hidden Power. I'm guessing he had Hidden Power Ice. I don't actually know what the Hidden Power is or what it could be. I'm guessing it's Hidden Power Ice. I go for the Foul Play here, but, you know, again, doesn't do a lot. Does do some damage. Not a lot of damage because the fact is Rocky Helmet and, of course, Morning Sun is a thing, so this Arcanine is so goddamn bulky. I guess I could have taunted here. Instead of foul playing the first turn, I could have taunted. Here I decide to Toxic. Because, you know, this thing is goddamn bulky, so I wanted to do something to it. So I Toxic it. And I get Flamethrowed for it, so sadly that wasn't the best idea. But I do live. And I go down to 25 HP. I go down to about 46 HP, you know, lower yellows. The Grassy Terrain goes away. And I decide to do a Parting Shot here. Lowering that attack by 2, lowering the attack and special attack. Switching out into CM Punk. Because I wanted to go for the Stone Edge here, but like, if CM Punk could have taken it, but like, without his Assault Vest, CM Punk wasn't taking anything, sadly. He did take it, but the fact is, with poison on top of it, it died, as you'll see. So I could, if I'd had my Assault Vest, I would have lived that. Here I go into Robin. I decide to use Roost. Because I want that HP back. And he decides to go for the HP. It turns out it is HP Ice. And it does do some damage to me, which is fine. I can take that. He switches out of the Arcanine into Bruce, which is the Hitmonlee. The Hitmonlee. I Swords Dance because I want to get my attack up. He decides to High Jump Kick me. High Jump Kick does have a chance to miss, but it doesn't miss this turn. Puts me into the very low reds. I Brave Bird, and this one-shots. With the Swords Dance boost, this one-shots. But sadly, it takes me out as well. So I could have, instead of Swords Dancing, I could have just Brave Birded, I guess. This time I go into... This time I go to Persian. And he double switches into, you know, from Umbreon into Arcanine. Then I was trying to Toxic the Umbreon because I know Umbreon's a literal wall, so I wasn't going to go that down anytime soon. So here I taunt. Because, you know, I knew he had Morning Sun. I didn't know he had Toxic at the time, but like, I'm glad I got rid of the Toxic ability for him. Here I Foul Play. Does do a lot of damage, but it does... hits me with a lot of damage myself, but it allows me to activate my berry, which I'm very happy about. But then the Flamethrower. And the Flamethrower does do a lot of damage to me. And burns me. But with poison and everything, I'm able to... he does put me in range to Foul Play and kill. So I do go for it. It's a risky play, but I do Foul Play and I do kill. And it does kill me as well, so yeah. Thanks to the Rocky Helmet recall. Now I switch into Maui. He switches into 4, which is his Fundorus Incarnate form, which hadn't been seen up until this point, by the way. And I decide to switch out because I don't want to get hit by a flat. I don't want to get hit by anything that's, you know, a Hurricane or anything like that. Because I'm thinking he would carry Hurricane. Turns out he carries Flash Cannon, and that would have done quite a bit of damage to Maui as well. It does do quite a bit of damage to Nightmare. Nightmare does live, which is really good. He switches out of that into... this. He switches out into Nightmare. I was kind of hoping for the freeze. I will admit, I was kind of hoping for the freeze in that Ice Beam. But sadly, I did not get it. As much as I want to not admit the fact that I was looking for a freeze, I really shouldn't be looking for a 10% chance of freeze, really, but I was looking for it. Here I decide to Roost because I want to get my HP back. But he Foul Plays and it does a lot of damage to me. I really wish I had a minus attack nature this week because on Nightmare, because you know if I had minus attack nature boosting my special attack, I would have probably not got hurt for a lot with Foul Play. So I switch out into Maui on the Foul Play, which it happens here. Oh, the Tox... oh yeah, he doesn't Foul Play, he Toxics instead. He does Foul Play eventually though. But he does... that does sadly get me Toxicked. And it's kind of annoying because, you know, I kind of want to keep Maui around for a few more turns because Maui would have been my saviour. At this point in time, but sadly not the case. So I decide to Nature's Madness here. It cuts his HP in half, does do a lot of damage to him, and it's really nice. The Foul Play does nothing to me, which is really good. But we forget how much of a wall Umbreon is here, because Umbreon can just literally take anything and have Wish and Protect and literally like, did you hurt me? Because I didn't feel a darn thing. Literally, that's Umbreon in a nutshell. So the grassy terrain disappears, which is kind of annoying at this point. I decide to Nature's Madness again. This one doesn't do as much damage, as you see. So at this point, I'm going to switch to Horn Leech because, you know, Horn Leech is probably the better move to go for. I guess I could have gone Leech Seed. Yeah, I could have gone Leech Seed. At any time, I could have gone Leech Seed, and that would have really helped in this situation. He goes for Protect. I go for the Horn Leech, and I sadly fail at protecting. There's many things I could have done in this battle that would have saved me. I'm realizing that now. But this was a really good match. I really enjoyed this. Go and check out Auto's channel. He is really good at battles, and I'm surprised I was able to take him to a 2-0. Because, like, I put the work in. People don't think I don't put the work. People would look at my 0-4 record and think I don't put the work in. People just think I'm here for to make up the numbers. But the fact is, I'm not here to make up numbers. You know, I'm not the 12th man. I am the guy who does not get a lot of luck, but does have some of the best matches in, well, IBL history. I'm that guy. I'm the guy who has the best matches in IBL history, just doesn't have the best luck in IBL history, has some of the worst luck in IBL history, because I died, Maui dies to Toxic, I decide to Roost, he decides to foul play, does a lot of damage to me, and every time I Roost, you know, foul play is a thing. I guess I could have tasked him out with Roost, but like, what would be the point in that? I could have roosted every turn he foul plays and tasked him out of it, but the fact is, what would have been the point? I do roost again here because I thought, like, he's not, you know, he's going to eventually go for something else. He's going to try and, like, hacks me. But no, foul play again. Like, I'm fighting a fruitless battle here. Like, I really want to hit you, but, like, I can't hit you because, you know, you're a special defensive wall. So I do decide to hit him here with the Ice Beam. Again, hoping for the freeze. But sadly, I do not get it. And there goes the foul play. And Nightmare faints. And I lose week 4. Okay, so there were certain points I could have done better. I guess maybe losing Machamp as early as I did lost me a few major points in that battle. Losing my Eviolite on Little Bro really hurt. Losing the Assault Fest on Machamp really hurt. Allowing Tapu Bulu to get poisoned was probably really bad as well. There was a few things that I could have done better. Certainly things I could have done worse. But yeah, I think it was a really good match. I'm learning, I'm improving, guys. I took Auto to a 2-0. I took Auto to a 2-0. Like, me and Auto have some of the best battles. Go and look at my WSS match against Auto. And that was a really good match too. And we do face him again in the IBL. So he is in my division. So we will face him again. We face him week 7. So in about 3 weeks, we'll face you again. Next week, we take on Cool Pikachu and her California Kingdras. So this is going to be rather interesting. And then the week after that, we face BlueJay again. So that's going to be really cool too. I'm hoping that eventually I'm going to get a win. I want 1 win. I don't want to finish 12th. I really don't want to finish 12th. Because that's 12 2 years in a row. And people think I'm just here to make up the numbers at that point. And, you know, I'm not. I'm good at battling. I just lack experience. And sometimes I make stupid decisions. And I'm sorry about that. Sometimes I also forget things too. I'm also sorry about that. But if you did enjoy today's battle, go ahead and leave a like, comment, and subscribe if you're on YouTube. If you're on VidMe, go ahead and leave a like. Go ahead and leave an upvote. You can follow the channel, and of course you can leave a comment over there as well. Go and check out Auto's channel and the rest of the battles of the IBL. They're really cool people in the IBL, and I really like being friends with them. Auto is amazing, and he's a really good coach. He knows a lot about battles, so I can't believe that I took him to a 2-0 in the end, really. I surprise myself sometimes. I'm able to back people into corners, but I'm not able to finish the job. But those wins will come if I keep battling like this. That's what I'm saying. The wins will come eventually. Until next time, I'm JoesphGames, and I am out. See you again.